I'm just testing the new microphone, the DJI. We use a lot of this microphone on our last production. Unfortunately, if you listen on this phone, it's okay quality. But for the filmmaking, I was a little bit disappointed for this one. So we've been using Sennheiser. That's what's the best one. Really good, really good quality. It doesn't have to be too close to your mouth, the microphone. But still, really good sound, so you can get it. Then, but that one's a bit chunky, and you have to use all the AA, double A batteries. You have to charge a lot. And then on top of that, our film production doesn't have audio recordist. So we decided how we can manage on our film without sound recordist. But that still works. It's so good. It's cool. Check it. So how are you guys doing today? Today is a Friday, January 30th, which is my wife's birthday. So I'm quite happy today. I woke up. I'm still this week working at the night shift, and then I just woke up to do some Tai Chi yoga stuff. Woke up, do some activities in the afternoon, make some coffee, lunch. I didn't go to the gym today, and I was editing, finishing the final two-week picture log for Echo 8 Beyond. And then I'm just brainstorming how we can do for our next distribution plan or whatever. Then actually today I finished most of my edit today, which is great. This is the all done, which feels better. I mean, still picture lock, which means not a final. Then since we've been making two films, I cannot do everything. So after this, I put the old ADR. So yesterday, all Maria's ADR. ADR means audio recording. After we make a finished film, there's sometimes sound quality is not good, or maybe a bit noisy, or like performance-wise, it's not good. So then maybe sometimes we have to do, it's called audio recording, ADR, for the film, and to get the good, better result. Then of course, performance-wise, maybe any audio or dialogue sounds, the better to record on set with the best. But however, um, and sometimes, especially in a recording outside, outdoor scenes, and then at the lots of noise, or like a scratch sound, a microphone scratch sound doesn't work, and then we sometimes just use the ADR. Actually, ADR works really well because some of the actors, like even for me, some get nervous on set. So um, if we use ADR more relaxed, no camera, just microphone, and watch your performance on screen, and just do the record again, and actually the voice is better. And then if even for the as a director, when we directing all these actors, which actually we can just focus on the sound. So when you do, it's actually easy to break it down because as a director, the directors have to see everything so on the set. Of course, the time management. Because in the game, we didn't have a production manager, so which means we have to do all by myself. The time management, how many resources left, and then which scene we're gonna go to check all the storyboards, and a lot of things happen on set, and then especially as a director, and for me, I'm also like sometimes I'm mostly like holding the camera, and then also I'm doing the lightings, and then I notice the you have to care everything on set, what's happening on the screen. So, but and sometimes I couldn't pay attention for the audio because I don't have I cannot check my microphone again. We didn't have an audio recordist, So which means we had to do everything by ourselves, right? So that's why we use, of course, we use this DJ. Actually, we use this DJ. We're using, but the sometimes the sound quality is not good first, and second, the performance wasn't great. Even there's something a face expression, the feeling is great, but doesn't mean the voice is great and solid, and then it's audible. It's good to listen on screen, or it's less good to listen on cinema. So we had to, actually, I had to go to all these, how many clips in one film? I can check it. It says 2,000 clips. I checked all the 2,000 clips, and then every single sound. If anything, so like 80 to 9%, 90%. Like for example, what? Well, one word. What do you mean? Like, blah blah blah. Like just one word is I don't too much worry, but like something like a long dialogue, something like the character's exposition, something explaining, something happened, or it needs to be a little bit more articulate. The sound articulate the certain words, because if the audience miss some certain words from the script, audience might get lost of the story. So I tried anything the part I give to make a notes and list and send to other producers and take a look and re-record again. And then you know what? Actually, as a director, back to EDR, we can just focus only on the sound. So, which means I can give them more different notes, and that can be it's actually improved. Even though, like for example, sometimes maybe the as an indie filmmaker, the time's limited, resources limited. And sometimes we have to rush for the filming. Some certain location we can allow. Okay, let's say we could shoot this place only a couple hours left, and then we have to finish everything. So what we could do is we cut it down some of the scene, and then the script writer, the Elizabeth, she was on set, and hey Elizabeth, can we cut this scene? Can we cut this dialogue? Can you just shorten? And she's like, give me 5 minutes. Let's just cut it down, cut the dialogue, but still makes sense for the whole film. Just double check, and then even the lighting and some shot makes it a little bit more simpler. So as an indie filmmaker, it's all about um, fixing the problem. The problem solving is the only job. The one time, the Shakti, he was my mentor, and he was the Australian director. He's from Sri Lanka, and one time I was a production manager for his project, and then lots of things going on, and then one day he told me, Takashi, so as a director, the filmmaking is about problem solving. That's true. The filmmaking is about problem solving. It's everything. It's all about problem. And I cannot pick up how many problems was popping up when we were at the production. That's a lot of problems. So which means don't get emotional, even get tired. Just try to fix one thing at a time. That's what only we could do. But I think after back home from last time, we finished at 2025 February, March, and now 2026. After 1 year, I'm almost finishing editing this one, and I realized, okay, one of my takeouts from last production was that was hectic. We only have 2 months. We only have 2 months. We have to film everything for two feature films, 120 pages each films, with action sequence, almost impossible. And some days we didn't have enough sleep. I talked to all the other producers, associate producers, to try to cut down some script a little bit shorter, but didn't work out. We tried our best as we we did our best as much as possible, but the script Elizabeth wrote is already designed to a lot of different characters in a different scenes, and then they're all actually connected into the one end. So which means we cannot fully cut it down. Well, on a 5 by 5 on one of the films, maybe unnecessary dialogues. Actually, we end up cutting down, but still it works, which is good. But yeah, it's very super tight schedule in filming, and then sometimes didn't get sleep, and like all the other producers get like, even for me, stress if it's snappy when we talk and communicate. When didn't work out, we get lots of feedback. That somebody get upset, my wife upset, other producer upset. I try my best, but like couldn't help. Like, okay, 2 hours sleep, 3 hours sleep every day. That's 16 hours filming. How can we manage that? Actually, the schedule is already corrupt already, but no choice because we have to finish in under the low budget. But anyhow, after back home, even the like stormy moment, it's like let's say extreme moment, and then maybe for me, I should have gone a little bit slow down. Each time, sometimes I just rushing, and I just rather than tell someone to do this stuff because it's actually cutting the time. It's like a working a restaurant, and then I just go by myself and move the lights and hold the camera and set up this and that, and but that's actually very less efficient. And that was my very bad habit. So maybe that's what I'm looking to take away is I should have been more chill. If anything, I have to go faster. I should have gone opposite. Maybe slow it down. Because now, after that home and I start working at a casino again, and then I'm mostly dealing craps on a dice game. And the dice are, if you've been in Las Vegas, one of the most exciting, fun game, but at the same time, a lot of context, a lot of different payouts, and then super fast game actually. And then as a dealer, you have to pay fast, mathematics fast, physically, brain, communicate, talk, a lot of things you have to do it. And then back to here, and then actually I transferred to day shift, and then I see a lot of day shift dealers actually go more chill. They even busy moment, they actually manage self-control, self-management. That's actually really, really good. And then I noticed whenever in that tough moment, these dealers never get rushed, never get rushed. Even the floor, one of the floor supervisors saw me because I always do try to go fast. I want to excited. It's fun to be fast, but actually I would get tired. My fingers get tired, and my throat get tired, my brain get tired, exhausted. It's actually it's not good in terms of safety, customer service, and more table control, or maybe make the vibe on the table. It is actually didn't work out sometimes. So I end up just try to copy all the other senior dealers, and then actually it worked out. It's actually worked out. Then I try to go opposite, and I notice all the other dealers they don't rush, but they don't make any sound. Very smooth, like a very silent ninja. They're all silent ninja, so good. I want to become. Yeah, I want to become like them. I want to become like silent ninja. It's very fast, no noise, smooth, but still pretty good at customer service. Talk, fun, nice talking to the players. That's amazing, though. And I realized, this is what actually I should have done. I should have done at my last film production, because I'm still leader. I have to be a leader. And as a director means it's not directing actually. Of course, directing is at the end you have to execute, but at the same time you have to be facilitate. That's the skill, the very important skill to be um, director, I think, because filmmaking is all about problem solving. On top of that, it's all about problem solving and what is that? Problem solving and caring. Yeah, these two things is very, very important. Problem solving and caring. These two things is the most essential part. And as a director, if you are like a rush and a stress, of course you'll be stressed, but I did my best, like 100%. I put all my energy to make this happen, to make this film happen. I didn't want to give up to make one of each film, make sure all the other producer wanted to make and make sure it's happened. So I did my best, even though I was exhausted and tired. I did my best, but sometimes it didn't work out. But so at the end, I actually I noticed the important part is maybe I should a little bit half step back and just a little bit down, slow down. So try to go opposite and see the what's actually going on, everything on set, and you feel the flow like a Tai Chi, and then more efficient way to communicate. Okay, what's the problem now? That one needs to be fixed first, but at the same time, my gimbal's over there. But at the same time, that microphone is not charging. The Q8 standing over there. So like so many things. It's like a chess. But you also chess, but at the same time you're holding things like this something. And on top of it, I'm acting because I'm the character in one of the films as well. And then my wife's the same things to do. So sometimes let them flow. It's still Marie can do it. And if I'm about to give up, I can like okay, I need a rest. I need just need sleep sometimes. Well, I can do it. Like sometimes I run out of energy. That could happen. That could happen. But then you can say that I'm knocked out. I'm exhausted. I have no power. On top of that, I found the time in the early morning or maybe after finish the production, I have to back home. Now I have to go to the gym and still have to go work out because I still have to keep my body because still some film, some shooting left and some action sequence left. My, yeah. So some of the my scene left also, which means I cannot fully give up even a busy day, 16-hour production. I might need to go to 5 a.m. in the morning. I had to go to the gym, so that was very crazy. And on top of that, I have to cook by myself. Sometimes the production food is not good for your body, keep your body sustained for sometimes have to show your muscle or whatever. That's the toughest time. But yeah, that's actually my takeaway. I could be more slow down. So anything happens, my from now on, anything happens, I just try to go opposite. If you have to rush, if you don't have time, I just slow it down. I just shift the brain. This is a good timing to I should go slow down. Anything. That's my takeaway. My takeaway. Yeah. And then slow but smooth about do one thing at a time. And then that's how you solve the problem. Hmm. I was thinking to share this book today, The College to Dislike. This is my favorite book. They're written in Japanese and now they're translated in English. More than 10 million copies sold worldwide. The Courage to be Disliked. Um, yeah, I just want to do live. I want to do something sharing my thought. The Courage to be Disliked. Why people can change. Oh, this is very interesting discussion about trauma does not exist. Maybe I start reading this place first. Um, so this book is more about introduction to Adlerian psychology. If you learn psychology, you might heard the name. I never heard the name before reading this book. Adlerian psychology. It's more like kind of in between philosophy and psychology. This is great. In Adlerian psychology, trauma is definite, definitely denied. This was a very new and a revolutionary point. Certainly, the Freudian view of trauma is fascinating. Freud, how to pronounce Freud? Freud. Freud's idea is the person's psychic wounds, it's called trauma, cause his or her present unhappiness. So, so basically, before Adler is so anything like current trauma, something is sadness or unhappiness, is based on the past. So you have a trauma. That's why you're not happy now. That's the logic. It's like more like it's scientific. It's called K. That's why it could be. But Adler says it's not that simple as human. It's very interesting. When you treat person's life as a vast narrative, there is an easily understandable causality and sense of dramatic development that creates strong impressions and is extremely attractive. When you treat a person's life as a vast narrative, there is an easily understandable causality and sense of dramatic development that creates strong impressions. It's extremely attractive. That's true. But Adler, in denial of the trauma argument, states as following. Okay, so that's his words. No experience is in itself a cause of our success or failure. No experience is in itself a cause of our success or failure. We do not suffer from the shock of our experiences. We do not suffer from the shock of our experiences, so-called the so-called trauma, but instead we make out of them whatever suit our purposes. Yeah, this is the most important part. So the purposes actually made trauma. So Adler says go opposite. So a lot of people thinks something happened in the past that affects me. Oh, me not happy now. But he wanted it different. Let me read again. We do not suffer from the shock of our experiences, the so-called trauma, but instead we make out of them whatever suit our purposes. So we actually implant to make trauma after. So we are not determined by our experiences, but the meaning we give them is self-determined. So we make of them whatever suits our purpose. Yes, so we make of them whatever suits our purpose. So we have a purpose. I am, well, for example, I am unhappy. That's why I want to create something. I want to think my logic is where this why I'm happy. So I create trauma and it caused by something shocking experience in the past. And that caused now today I'm unhappy. That's the Adler cycle. That's very interesting. And then after that, he said, I was quite fascinated of this. It's just actually even anger or emotions. I'm actor, right? Oh, okay. It's natural. Something bad things happen. You feel angry, unhappy. But is that really natural emotion? It's not. It's actually from the purpose you created the artificial emotion. That is anger. Now that's what Adlerian psychology said. And I was so fascinated. I was reading this book because I'm an actor. The learning about emotion. Wow, really, that's super cool. So I just keep going, yeah. So we make of them whatever suits our purposes. Exactly. Focus on the point Adler is making here when he refers to the self being determined not by our experiences themselves, but by the meaning we give them. I read again, okay? Exactly. Focus on the point Adler is making here when he refers to the self being determined not by your experiences themselves, but by the meaning you give them. So it's based on not actually what you experience, doesn't matter. Actually, you are the one today, present, now, to give the meaning of the past. So in the logic, what the trauma means, trauma is actually created by something from you today, now, not from the past. He is not saying that the experience of a horrible calamity, what's called calamity, or abuse during childhood, or other such incidents have no influence on forming a personality. Their influences are strong. So which means the Adler is still not denying there's some bad experience in the past, like for example, domestic violence, childhood bad dreams, like bullied by someone, DV, that's all still exists and they still build something as a human yourself. He's not denying. But here's a point. But the important thing is that nothing's actually determined by those influences. Nothing is not determined by these incidents. We determine our own lives according to the meaning we give to those past experiences. See? I read again. We determine our own lives according to the meaning we give to those past experiences. So we create the meaning. It's actually no meaning from the incident. We today created a meaning to the past. What happened for the incidents? So your life is not something that someone gives you, but something you choose yourself. Oh, that's not nice. Your life is not something that someone gives you, but something you choose yourself. So you can choose yourself. And you are the one who decides how you live. This is such a beautiful line. I mean, after I read this book, I feel so happy now because I can decide I can be happy or unhappy. It's actually all from my choice from today, from this book said. If I feel happy, I can be happy from today. If I feel unhappy, I can be unhappy from today in 1 second. There are a lot of people say, oh, because of trauma. But this Adler says that trauma is also is the creating meaning from you now because you feel unhappy. You create an artificial emotion of anger and then sadness and what is called how to say in English? I forget. Lots of anger inside, and then start finding a reason why I'm so unhappy now, or because of my past. Always find a reason, and then that's why I'm a piece of shit or something. Then I get disappointed and do not have a courage to be happy. So by the way, this is the first book, and then I just recently ordered second one. I haven't read yet. It's the same writer, and it's called The Courage to Be Happy. So you can be happy anytime. So this line is quite important. This is actually my paradigm shift when I was reading this book. So I might do read again. So just more understanding better for me. As I'm still also learning. Exactly. So we make of them whatever suits our purposes. See? So trauma is actually made by yourself to suit to your purposes. Exactly. Philosopher says. Focus on the point Adler is making here when he refers to the self being determined not by our experiences themselves, but by the meaning we give them. He is not saying that the experience of a horrible calamity or abuse during your childhood or other such incidents have no influence on forming a personality. So these past is still not denied yet. This incident is an incident, but doesn't mean this one is not forming personality today. Their influences are still strong, of course, but the important thing is that nothing is actually determined by those influences. It's actually true because no logic. There's no evidence that 100% is connected or not connected from the past incidents. We determine our own lives according to the meaning we give to those past experiences. I'll read again. This is we determine our own lives according to the meaning we give to those past experiences. So you're the one who can choose what kind of meaning to what happened in the past. So your life is not something that someone gives you, but something you choose yourself. And you are the one who decides how you live. It's actually a nice course today. You know what? I might want to do more, keep reading on live stream. I feel better. I feel good on this live stream. I'm this my learning. But anyhow, I might gotta go work soon. And thank you for tuning up to watching this video. And if you can do, please like and subscribe. So I just keep posting on my daily vlog, daily life as a Japanese actor filmmaker. All right. Thank you. See you next time.